Andy Johnson, Minnesota State University. We are looking at voluntary reading, specifically the amount of voluntary reading that students do. Less than 50% of fourth graders read for fun every day. That's a 1986 study. Old. 13% of the nation's fourth graders never or hardly ever read for fun on their own time. And only 30% of fifth grade students read for 10 minutes or more a day. Voluntary reading should be, must be a part of your total literacy program. It has to do with motivation as well as emotion. The definition is the time spent reading apart from class. They do it voluntarily. They want to read. Why is that important? Because the amount of voluntary reading students do is highly correlated with achievement. Notice, though, that correlation does not infer causation. We'll talk about that later. But the amount of time spent reading narrative texts and reading for pleasure declines during junior high and high school. And sadly, this is when students need to read narrative texts the most. They need to read about students like themselves going through similar situations. That helps them understand themselves and other people more. Skills-only programs focusing on phonics and other reading subskills do not teach or encourage voluntary reading. Some would say just the opposite. They create an aversive conditioner that makes students less inclined rather than more inclined to want to read. Teachers' number one job is to help students fall in love with books after that 90% of their job is done. So we need to define reading success not in terms of scores. Stop quantifying people. Just stop it. Cut it out. Instead, define reading success as reading behaviors. Is that child, are our students reading for pleasure, reading to get information on their own? We'll be looking at some reading data in the next video.